morning to you, Bonita Bay members, and I am excited to share with you all some exciting things coming up here. We've got Justin Smith, one of our great teachers here at Bonita Bay, who has done some amazing accomplishments in his career, and once again, he has an opportunity that's ahead of him that's going to be amazing. He has qualified once again to play in our PGA Professional Championship, and Justin's going to tell you a little bit more about that, but it's quite an honor. It's one of those things that it represents each of our PGA sections, not just in Florida, but all over the nation. So it's a huge honor to be able to qualify for this event. And we're going to be able to share how you can stay involved and watch him as he plays. We'll talk about some of the details now, when it is, and how you can approach watching it and keeping track of how he scores. And this is also another qualifier in a way. It's huge to make it to this event, but it also is another qualifier for an event you might have heard of called the PGA Championship, which is an amazing honor, and we know he can handle that. He can handle that pressure, and we want to talk a little bit about that today. So, Justin, tell us more about the event, where we can get going with that.
Yeah, Jonathan, thank you, and thank you all to the membership here for all the support so far. Yeah, it's my third time playing in this event. I qualified back in 2017. I played in Sun River, Oregon. Then I guess in 2022 back in Texas. So third time playing, super excited. You know, your expectations might be a little different each time, but this one I feel pretty confident about. As we know, golf is a crazy game, so anything can happen. But, you know, I've been preparing mentally and physically, you know, through this process. As you know, I've had run into some like bumps in the road with back stuff, but I think I've overcome a lot of that. But yeah, I think that, you know, this is an event that is true to my heart. You know, I want to make it every year. And as Jonathan said, there are 41 sections in the country. Yep. We had 30,000, I believe 30,000-ish professionals try to qualify for this, and 312 make it. So it's a super honor not to represent the PGA, but also Bonita Bay Club. And I just can't wait to do that.
So Justin, tell us a little bit on your preparation, some things that you have done, not just a week or two before the event. You've been preparing for this all year long, and ever since you qualified. Tell us more about what that looks like, you know, maybe your mental aspects going into this, how you try to prepare your mind, and also your body, your physical aspects as well. Share with that.
Yeah, so basically I started with my body. I qualified back in September. I was still fighting a little, let's say, flexibility, mobility issues with my back. Got through that process. I've been working with some guys out at off campus on my fitness part of it. So I put on some little bit of mass and obviously got a little more flexible there. Golf swing wise, some of you might know my swing coach. I kind of have two of them. Jonathan's one of them. And I have one up in Canada who his name is Scott Caux, and he's really worked hard on, you know, how my pelvis works, and my SI joints sort of got a little out of whack, we'll call it. But I really feel confident with my body there. So golf swing wise, you know, kind of make it simple. We can always complicate it pretty easily. Yeah. But, you know, I've worked on, as you'll see in a moment, we're going to hit some shots here, but a lot of lower body stuff, a lot of tempo. And as you've heard before, a lot of setup positions that really kind of can, you know, set your pace in a sense there.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot that goes into this. It's not just another casual event. This is a big one, and we're excited for you. This has been a huge, huge accomplishment. I know our members want to keep in touch with how you're doing in this event. How can they know more about what time your tee times are, and, you know, maybe even play-by-play, how that works? Tell us some more about that.
Yeah, so the tournament is actually April 27th through the 30th. I arrive there on the 24th, play a few practice rounds. The tee times come out on the 24th, next Thursday when I get there. So most likely you'll have a morning, afternoon, or vice versa. But you can follow on, I think it's pga.org, tournaments here, and we'll send you a link there for that. But that's live scoring. But also, I believe on the Golf Channel, it starts at 3 o'clock most days throughout every round there. So it'll be kind of cool. And they'll probably show like the guys that have won in the past at first. But I think if you end up playing or doing some cool things, you'll end up seeing me there.
Yeah, so the next few days as you prepare, I know you're going to be hitting a lot of balls, practicing, making sure you're ready to go. So if you see Justin from a distance hitting some golf balls, just know he's mentally and physically preparing for this event. He's definitely committed to being a great teacher here at Bonita Bay. But for the next few days especially, we are really wanting him to commit to, you know, being well prepared and represent Bonita Bay well. So I know you'll understand that and how the hard work to be at his best is going to take away some of his teaching time. But thank you so much for your sacrifices and allowing him to be that person that's going to be well prepared. We're excited for you. I know you're going to go in there and kick some tail, and it's going to be so fun to watch. And if you want to know more about it, like Justin said, we'll have a link for you, and stay in touch with what that looks like. So anything else you want to share?
Yeah, I want to go through a few things that I've done in my golf swing. And I also want to go through some things that might help you guys and gals for maybe your own game, whether it be pre-round or during the round. One of the things that is kind of crazy about this event is we have to walk. It's going to be, four rounds of that and maybe some practice rounds, but you've got a lot of time in between shots. It's not like riding in a golf cart. So there's a lot of thinking time. And I feel as if a golfer can take their posture and just their whole demeanor and, be more upright, breathe, and just feel a little more intact with what you're doing, as opposed to, slouching the shoulders and saying, that was a bad shot. Even if it happens that way, you still have to stay in the positive in that moment.
Yeah.
But I felt that's been very key for me, is sort of some breathing exercises, how you walk, how you present yourself, walking into the shot with sort of an upright posture, in a sense of, I'm very confident here, because, that you can see that. My wife tells me that every once in a while, like I can kind of tell when maybe you're playing a little bit, off, if you will. And maybe when you're on, and I don't want her to know that. I want her to know that I'm just enjoying the game and playing my own game, and just trying to do my best out there. So let's hit a few shots for you here.
There you go. Maybe some of the things you've been working on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody should be working on this pre-shot routine. You've heard it before, I think, from a few of us. Basically, I'll stand behind the golf shot. I won't do it here because you'll see my tail end here, but just basically pick an intermediate target. As of right here, you can kind of see there's a divot right in front. Pick something that might be close to you, if you will, that you can sort of set your whole body to, and club face. So I'll usually set the club face first. I kind of walk in with my right foot, hands on grip, and then sort of shimmy into that. I think if we do it a little different, if you put your hands on the club here and just kind of walk into it, create your own process. This is not you have to do this, or this is the correct way to do it. This is the way I've found has worked best for me. And you'll see a bunch of different ones out there. I probably can guess yours is a little different than that.
Yeah.
But, I feel as if you can get more comfortable out there, it'll improve your game. It'll improve your tempo. And that's one of the things that I really work on is, trying to feel a little 1-2. And Jonathan mentioned me that probably about 7 years ago of, when I take the club to the top, I'm thinking 1-2. When I start the backswing is 1. When I get to the top of my backswing is -. And when I get to impact is 2. So if we can hear all three of those, little terms in our mind, I feel that you're going to really, be successful on a little bit more ball striking.
Yeah.
So
give us a few swings. Let's see what
absolutely.
it looks like.
Sure.
Yeah, you can see great players. They have great steadiness, great balance in their swing, and that's something Justin works on constantly. Also, his setup is key. It doesn't change. You'll find his bend, his posture, his distance from the ball, his grip, all those things are very consistent. And as he's swinging, as he's hitting, I mean, this is kind of the standard, really. If you can swing like this, this is next level, which we know Justin is. So it's going to be pretty exciting. These are the things that he's been working hard on. And when you have a great round of golf, it's really when you have those days where you have some predictability. You know what that ball is going to do. And I know whether you curve it left or curve it right or hit it straight, as long as we know which one's coming, we know how to work around a golf course. And then it becomes a decision process, making the right decisions out there, keeping your mind clear and sharp and focused. Get through nerves. How do you get through your nerves when you're out on the course? I know there's some nerves that can go in there. What do you do to kind of steady your mind a little bit in the nerve process?
Honestly, I think a little less of golf and more about some other things, and not about my grocery list later, but, just some things that'll kind of ease my mind. Breathing, as I mentioned earlier, the way you walk, like I said, we're going to have a lot of time between shots, and in the golf cart, you don't. Yeah. So, you kind of have to figure out maybe a different process there, but eating is very vital before the round and during the round to keep your energy levels up. It does help your focus too. I drink some electrolyte drinks, Drip Drop, that my good friend Brian Harmon recommended me about 10 years ago, and there are plenty of them out there. But stay hydrated, as Jonathan and I both know. You got to get hydrated the night before, or else it's maybe a little too late. That does affect everything you do. So it's not just our golf swing that might feel bad that day. Like all the things that we put into it leading up, or maybe during the round, in a sense, that will hinder you. But that's sort of my process, in a sense, with let's say nerves. But beyond the nerves, I think it's sort of a healthy way to think about it.
Well, as you can see, there's a lot that goes into not just each round of golf, but tournament play as well. So I know Justin doesn't take a lot of change with regards to his daily rounds of golf when he plays, but he's that much more prepared for. He knows the importance of all those things to take care of himself, his game, his mind, and so we're excited for you, Justin. It's going to be awesome, and we sure look forward to seeing the great results. So
thanks, buddy.
Congratulations on making it this far, and if you haven't congratulated Justin, keep an eye on him, watch what's happening, and like I said, click on that link. You'll be able to see what's going on. So,
hey, when we make Quail Hollow, everybody needs to go. I'll send you tee times for that, and I can't wait to see you all there.
There you go. So thanks so much for all you do for us. Take care.